So what I want to do right now is I want to go through part of the Monat compensation plan. Monat, in case you don't know, is a multi-level marketing company. They sell shampoos, but like all multi-level marketing companies, what they really sell is the like business opportunity of the company itself. MLMs work on this thing called a compensation plan, so their representatives, whom they call market partners in this case, those are like random people who sign up for the business opportunity, and they go out and they sell the product, but they also recruit people underneath them to also join the business opportunity and sell the product and recruit people underneath them, and so on forever, which is why people consider it a pyramid scheme. So there's a bunch of these companies, but I wanted to look at Monat today, and I wanted to look at a specific part of their compensation plan. This screen cap here, that's just a screen capture of a part of their like PDF that they have on their website. If you just like Google Monat compensation plan, this is the top, and this is not about payouts, it's just about the requirements for reaching specific ranks. So when you're in Monat, you have a rank within this compensation plan. The higher rank you get, the more money you make, basically. And there are all of these requirements to reach higher ranks, to rank up. You can lose ranks if you don't meet those requirements, sort of, etc., etc. And I wanted to talk specifically about these active lines and structure requirements. I wanted to talk about these recruitment requirements because I think it really shows off like how much this company really does come off as a pyramid scheme, and just kind of how bad of a deal it is if you are trying to get up to the top of this comp plan. So what we're gonna do, we have the list of ranks. I've color coded them here, and we're just going to draw this out. Like if you look at this chart, it's this nice little rectangle. You have your requirements all listed out. It seems nice and easy, but if you actually draw what these requirements look like, you see not only how difficult it is to get to these top ranks, but also how the difficulty and recruitment requirements just explode as you move towards these higher ranks. And then I also want to go over just the hard numbers, like how many people you need under you for each of these ranks. So we'll do that as we go. Monat has 12 ranks. You start with market partner, you end with senior executive director, and then there's all these associates and managings and market whatevers in between. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go one by one, and we're going to draw exactly what your team or your downline needs to look like in order to meet the minimum requirements for each of these ranks. So remember, this is the minimum. You might have more people under you than this. You might have more high-ranking people under you, but this is the bare minimum absolute requirements, not even talking about sales volumes or anything like that, just how many people you need below you in order to hit these ranks. So we're going to start with market partner, MP, and for that, it is the only rank that you don't require to recruit, so it's literally just yourself, just you. The next rank up is associate market partner, and for that you need yourself plus one other person below you. It is supposed to be a simple rank to reach, I think. It recently got added to the comp plan. When you first join an MLM, you have all of these incentives, and just making sure that you're getting all these bonuses, you're ranking up really fast, and then that good feeling is gonna keep you going as you get into these higher ranks where it's a little bit harder. After AMP, you've got managing market partner, MMP. MMP is an important rank. I'm gonna put a little star here. So, because it requires you to have two people below you, and then the thing about it that's a really big deal is that, having MMPs below you is a requirement for a lot of the, middle and higher ranks. And so that is why MMP is such a big deal. And importantly, like, you know, these like middle ranks, where it's saying, oh, you need 1 MMP below you, you need 2 MMPs below you. So that's important because, like, if you get recruited by someone who's trying to become an MMB, they're going to want you to become an MMP. So that's a concept that's going to, like, continue to be important as we move through this. After MMP, our next rank is Associate Market Builder, AMB. This is another really simple one. It is just you and 3 people below you. This is conjecture, but I think that this is another one of those ranks that, like, exists in order to, like, make you feel like it's really easy to move up in rank. If you're already an MMP, it's easy to get to AMB. You need 1 more person, like, and, you know, we're not here to, like, downplay the, like, mortification and humiliation involved in, like, cold messaging a million people till you get one of them to join your pyramid scheme, but still, comparatively, it's, like, not too difficult. Market Builder is kind of an important, like, step to note as we are moving through this, because this is the first case where you need people under you to be at a certain rank. So you need 4 people under you. One of those people needs to be an MMP. So that means if you're an AMB and you're trying to get to MB, you need one of these 3 people to recruit 2 people. So you can't just recruit a 4th person and suddenly get to MMB. You need one of these people to recruit someone, and you also need to recruit someone. Actually, you need one of these people to recruit 2 people. Like I said, that's going to be a recurring theme as we get into the higher ranks of the company. So we've got you at the top, MMB, or MB, sorry, and then we've got below you, we've got your 1 MP, and then we've got your 3 other market partners, your 3 other lines. And, you know, presumably one of these people might also be an MMP, but we're talking about, like, the bare minimum. So this is the bare minimum needed to get to MMB, or to MB. I keep saying MMB, which is the next rank. That stands for Managing Market Builder. I really hate these acronyms. But MMB is also a super important rank because a lot like MP or MMP, it's gonna form the building block of a lot of the higher ranks. So actually every rank above MMB requires you to have MMBs below you. And you'll see in Monat there's a lot of training calls that are about, like, getting people to MMB. You'll see these, like, MMB boot camps or something like that. And, like, MMB is kind of the middle of the pyramid. And I don't have the income disclosure statement on hand at the moment, but it's not, like, great pay. And so the reason you see all these people trying to get you to MMB specifically isn't because it's a great rank, but it's because they need MMBs in order to keep their higher ranks. So that's something that's really important about MMB. And in order to be an MMB, you need to have you up at the top, and then you need 2 MMPs below you, and a total of 4 active lines. So you need 4 recruits. 2 of those recruits need to have 2 recruits each of their own. So we are going to draw that out. MMB is such a, like, building block that we're going to be using it all the time in the future. So I want to make sure that all of this, like, looks nice and is easy to, like, copy and paste into the other ranks. So this is the lower half of the compensation plan. We've got these first 6 ranks from MP up to MMB. And like I said, these are going to be the building blocks for the next half of the comp plan. And so I want to pause for a minute to just look at the numbers here. So with MP, you know, it's just you. You're just, you know, a team of 1. It's just you, yourself, and you. And that's sort of your basic block of what you're going to end up having to entice people to become as you move forward through this comp plan. So AMP, you've got yourself and you've got the person below you. So you're a team of 2. MMP, team of 3. AMB, team of 4. And that's all pretty straightforward, pretty simple. But like we talked about, MB is going to start to be a little bit different, because with MB, you need 4 people directly below you. You need those 4 active lines, but then specifically you need one of them to be an MMP. And remember, an MMP is a team of 3. So you've got this one team of 3 and then these 3 singles. So that's 6 people below you, and you're going to need to be a team of 7 total. So the 6 people below you plus yourself in order to reach MB. And that's a bit of a jump, right? Up till now, we've been doing just like one person at a rank. But then for MB, you have this jump where you need to get 3 people, right? Up from 4 up to 7. And only one of those people is your own recruit. 2 of them have to be your recruits. So, you know, this level of recruiting where you're going out there, you're cold messaging people or whatever, as you move up through the ranks, that's going to start becoming less and less important, and you're going to start depending more and more on your downlines to be doing stuff in order for you to reach your ranks. And that, I think, is why we see such a, toxic culture within these MLMs, right? Is because, in order for me to rank up, I need you to be doing stuff. And that means that, I'm pushing you, not because I want you to succeed, but because I want to succeed. You know, Monat reps will tend to say, oh, you have to bring your girls with you to the top. But it's no, your girls are pushing you to the top because you're standing on them, and you need to be bullying them into doing stuff that benefits you. And so we see the same thing for MMB, where you've got 2 teams of 3 under you, and then 2 singles, and so that's a total of 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8, so you're a team of 9. And that's going to be really important because, as we said, MMB is going to be the basic building block for all of these next levels. So, you know, we see these 4 MMBs, 6 MMBs, whatever. And when you look at it on this rectangle, that seems oh, well, that seems kind of difficult, but it's probably doable. But then you remember an MMB means 9 people. So, you know, 6 teams of 9 is what we're talking about here. So we're going to see how those numbers break down specifically as we move forward. But just remember, MMB is not a small thing. It requires 9 entire people for there to be 1 MMB. So we're going to move forward. Our next rank is going to be AMM, Associate Market Manager. And in order to be an AMM, you need 1 MMP and 1 MMB. So like I said, MMB is really going to be the basic building block of all of these upper echelons in this company. So I'm just going to copy and paste this, and I'm going to put the highest ranking downline on the left just for some visual clarity. So you need 1 MMB, you need 1 MMP, and then you need 2 more lines that can be whatever. And then, of course, you need yourself at the top. And so, in order to be an AMM, we see you've got 1 team of 9, 1 team of 3, and 2 singles. And so that means 9 plus 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14, so you're a team of 15 in order to be an AMM. So we've gone from, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3, and then 7 to 9 is plus 2, and then 9 to 15, that's a big old jump. That's plus 6. So the numbers of people you're needing to rank up are increasing as we do this ranking up. Then in addition to needing more total people, you also need this line to go deeper. So we've had in these previous levels, you need one row of people beneath you. MB and MMB, you need 2 rows of people beneath you. AMM, you need 3 rows of people beneath you. And you need to have that twice, because this person needs to be an MMB, which means they need 2 MMPs underneath them. So you need 3 rows twice, you need 2 rows once, and then you need 1 row twice. So these requirements are getting higher, and they're also relying more and more on what these people below you are doing. So MM, I hate these acronyms, I hate them so much. Anyway, for MM, you are going to need 2 MMBs beneath you, and this is also a really, noteworthy rank, not because it is a huge building block. You see there's one level that requires MMs underneath you, but this is where you get to sign up for the Monat Motor Club, is what they call it, and this is like a car incentive type of thing. Other creators have broken down why it's a bad deal, but basically, Monat will help you pay for a fancy car if you make it to Market Mentor, and then if you stay at Market Mentor for a certain amount of time. So this is a really highly incentivized rank, and we see that the requirement here is 2 MMBs. We need still those 4 active lines and 2 of these MMBs. So 2 of these teams of 9 underneath you. And so you can see, again, why this is such, an important rank that these uplines want people to get to, because, that is what you need in order to get these higher ranks. So in order to get to MM, I hate these acronyms, God, I hate these acronyms. You get yourself up at the top, and you get 2 MMBs underneath you, so 2 teams of 9, and then you get 2 more free-floating recruits. So you still have 2 people who you don't have to, force to be recruiting. But, you probably want to anyway, because what if one of your MMBs, loses their rank? You want to make sure that you've got, 2 of your other people are MMBs, so that you can, make sure that you've got a buffer. But that is not what we're talking about today. We're talking about just the bare minimum numbers, and you see, even with just bare minimum numbers, it's still, really getting to be quite difficult to reach this rank, because here at MM, you've got 2 teams of 9, so that's 18, and then you've got 2 more freebies, so that's 20 people under you. So you have to be a team of 21 in order to be an MM. And just to keep this math going, we've got 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 6, and then 15 to 21, that's going to be another 6. And none of them are going to come from you doing any active recruiting. So as we mentioned, this sideways line, this is getting bigger as you go up to MMB. But once you hit MMB, you stay at 4 active lines for the requirements, all the way up until you get to Associate Executive Director. Associate Executive Director. I've said that wrong so many times today. Anyway, so you're not actually doing any recruiting. It is all entirely dependent on the growth of these downlines underneath you. So, to get from AMM to MM, you don't need to add people to your team. And what you need is for this person to be adding people to their team. So this person needs to go from a team of 3 up to a team of 9. So they need to get the 6 people that you need in order to get to MMM or MM. And only 2 of those people are actually their direct recruits. So, in order for you to get from AMM to MMM, you need this person here to get 2 new recruits of their own, and you need each of these people to get 2 recruits of their own. So you're relying on these people way down the pyramid, 2 levels below you, in order for you to get your next rank, which is why this is a fucking pyramid scheme. I'm gonna say that a million times. So our next level is MMM. Good Lord. And MMM stands for Managing Market Mentor. Say that 15 times fast. And to become an MMM, you need to have one MMB below you and two AMMs below you. So this person who has this MMB and this MMP and these two MPs, you need two of those and one of these. Okay, I'm going crazy because I just lost a recording of the next three ranks. So I'm going to go over it maybe a little more quickly. If I sound annoyed, it's because of that, but also because I hate MLMs. So anyway, MMM requires one MMB and two AMMs. So we're going to start with you at the top. You've got your two AMMs underneath you, and those are each teams of 15. And then you've got your one MMB and then your little singleton on the end. We can see that is still maintaining that 4-line thing. So at this point, none of your team growth is coming from your recruitment. And we can also go ahead and just do some numbers. So you've got 41 people, including you. So you've got 40 underneath you in this. So you've got 1, 9, 10, plus 30 is 40, plus yourself is 41. And so, that's a really big jump from MM, where you only had 21 people under you. So you were, you had 20 people under you and then yourself. Now you have 40 people under you and then yourself. So you've just doubled the size of your team in order to make this rank jump. And again, none of that doubling comes from your own work. All of that is coming from these people down below you. So, you've got these two people who have gone from MMB to AMM, and in order for them to do that, they're not recruiting anyone new directly either. They hit that 4-line plateau, and then they need these people underneath them to be recruiting. So they need one of these people to go up to MMB. So this person needs to get 6 people in order for you to reach your rank, for them to reach their ranks, and that needs to happen twice in order for you to reach your rank. So you need this person and this person to be working their butts off and bullying these people into doing stuff in order for you to get your rank. And so our next rank is going to be AED, and you're going to start with your 2 MMs underneath you, and those are 21 people each. And then you've got your 1 MMB and your second MMB. No, second and third MMB. Through MMM, you still had this 4-line cap. Now at AED, you are adding a 5th line, so you've recruited one more person, but you can't just recruit that one more person. You need that person to get up to a team of 9. So in order for you to hit AED, you need to have all of these 4 people ranked up to at least MMB. You need 2 of them at MM, and which, is a team of 21, so that's pretty big. It requires 2 MMBs each underneath them, and then you need this whole new group of 9 that you've gotten on side. So as an AED, you've got 21 here, plus 9, that's 30. Plus 21 here, plus 9, that's another 30, so 60, plus another 9, that's 69, plus yourself, is going to be a total of 70 people on your team as an AED. So we have gone up from 41 all the way up to 70 underneath you as we are moving up this compensation plan. Our next rank is going to be ED, Executive Director. That one requires 4 MMBs, 2 MMMs. So at this point, we're seeing we are getting an increase in the number of active lines again. So we were 4 all the way up to MMM, and now we've gone up to 5, we've gone up to 6, we're going to go up to 8 for the last one. So you are doing some amount of direct recruiting, but all of the lines that you're adding on are going to be MMBs. So you're not just recruiting one person, you're recruiting one person who needs to recruit 8 more people, at least 2 levels deep. And so these like increases are kind of deceptive in that way because it seems like, oh, maybe it's not that big. But when you look at the actual numbers, you see that like what you need is actually a huge number of people, and most of them are like coming onto your team via other people below you. So for ED, we're going to get 2 MMMs, which, is themselves a team of 41. And in addition to those two, we're going to need 4 MMBs. These MMB blocks are really interesting to me. I'm really not sure why that's like the requirement as these teams go up. I think it has to have something to do with this kind of like refresh rate, like turnover in the company, right? Because like, as you're getting these new people, you're getting these MMBs, like that is incentivizing these lower levels where people are able to like move up the ranks relatively quickly, like getting to this MMB rank. That's like, I think, seen as this like big milestone in the company, right? And so you're trying to get these new people who are going to be able to like go up to MMB, and like that's like creating this excitement. You're getting these people who are like fresh blood coming in addition to these like deep downlines that you're working on. At least that's my guess as to why you have all of these MMB blocks at the end here, but I don't know for sure. So in order to get to ED, you're going to have 4 of these blocks of 9, 2 blocks of 41. So 41 plus 9, that's 50. 41 plus 9, that's another 50. So that's 100. Plus 2 9s is 18. So 118 people are going to be your downline in order to be an ED. And again, like most of those are coming from like way beneath you in this line. So, you have these 2 people who they were your MMs before, right? And so we're just making the assumption that these are like the same people for simplicity's sake. Obviously the way it works might be very different in practice, but like you've got these 2 teams that are your MMs and they're going up to MMM. Each of these people is doubling their downline in order to get you to ED. And the way that those downlines double, it's not your efforts, and it's not their efforts, and it's not the efforts of the people below them. Because the people below them, back when they were MMs, these people were MMBs. So they hit that 4-person plateau. So so you're not doing any active recruiting in order to get these downlines doubled. They're not doing any active recruiting in order to get these downlines doubled. And the people under them aren't doing any active recruiting in order to get these downlines doubled. It's these people who are like 3 levels below you. These are the people who need to be working their asses off in order for you to get your next rank. So each of these needs to go from 9 to 15, which means that like this person needs to get up to MMB, and this person needs to get up to MMB, and like in order for that to happen, this person needs to recruit 2 people. So that is how you're getting up to your next rank, is by having this person recruit 2 people and this person recruit another person. And like to me that's just, it's really like shows how much of a pyramid scheme this is, because like these people's work is what is giving you the opportunity to get to this executive level. You're the one who is like getting these fancy trips, you're getting invited to these summits and whatever, and like all of that is dependent on these people below you who are not making any money. And that's why this is a pyramid scheme. And so our final level is going to be SED, that's Senior Executive Director, which is the top level of the company. And in order to be a Senior Executive Director, you are going to need to have 6 MMBs, 2 AEDs. So you need 2 people below you who are also at this executive level. So you're going to need 2 AEDs in order to get to SED. And so each of those is a team of 70 already. So just right off the bat, that's 140 people that you need in order to reach this rank. This is getting quite difficult to copy and paste because these things are so big and unwieldy. So that is why I am messing around with it so much. But here we go. We've got 1 AED and 2 AEDs and then 6 MMBs. Which again, so that's 2 more active lines from where you were at ED. So you had 4 MMBs, now you're up to 6. So you're adding 2 more of them. And again, it's these weird little building blocks that, like, I don't know why exactly that's being so heavily incentivized. But it is. It's this requirement to get, like, all of these little blocks that are just kind of hanging on the end of your pyramid, whereas, like, these people are, like, going super, super deep. And so, like, you know, in Monat, they have this whole thing about, like, oh, you have to bring your girls to the top with you. And it's like, you have 2 people who need to be in high ranks in order for you to be an SED. And, like, all of these people back here, all of these people over here, let me actually copy and paste them. Like, none of them need to be at high ranks. And, like, you know, all of them need to be busting their butts recruiting people in order for you to be at a high rank, because that's how your team is actually growing, is not by you recruiting. You've recruited a total of 8 people, right? Your personal recruits are 8, and your downline is, let's do the math. Let's see what your downline is. So your downline is 70 plus 70, so that's 140, plus 9 times 6. 9 times 6 is 54, so that's 194. So you have 194 people under you. And 2 of them are at a high rank, and 8 of them are your direct recruits. So yeah, that's why people call it a pyramid scheme, is because, like, because all of these people underneath you are working their butts off. They've given up their respectability and their lives in order to become cringe MLM Huns, in order for you to be an SED. And that's shitty. And, like, you know, most of the people in your downline, they're not making money. They're not making the kind of money you make, for sure. They're probably, a lot of them are making very little money, if any at all, in order for, like, to fund your, like, career as an SED, right? So, like, all of these people, MMBs, that doesn't make a ton of money, you know. And all of these market partners underneath them, all these little blue dots, these dark blue dots, none of these people are making money. Most of them are probably losing money. And, like, you know, you don't get the MMP without the MPs. You don't get the MMB without the MPs. You don't get the MMMs without the MMPs, without the MPs. Like, there has to be someone on the bottom. That's the thing that, like, drives me crazy about MLM Huns and the way that they talk about their pyramid scheme. They're like, it's not a pyramid scheme. I'm making so much money. Look at how well I'm doing for myself. And if you're not doing well, it's because you're not working hard enough. And that's not true, because this doesn't exist without somebody to be on top of. Like, you don't, like, everyone in the world can't have 3 people under them. And you have to have 3 people under you in order to be an MMB. You have to have 8 people under you. And 2 of them have to have 2 people under them. These people can't have people under them unless those people have people under them. And, like, you know, if this person gets someone under them, then that person is going to have to get someone under them. Like, yes, it is possible to succeed in an MLM. Someone can succeed, but everyone can't succeed. And the fever dream that MLMs are pitching you are that, yeah, but, like, what if you were the one up here? You know, there's going to be hundreds of these people down here funding your lifestyle, but you don't have to care about that because you get to be the one up here. And that's the dream that every one of these people is being sold while they're churning through their social media and burning their relationships and spending all of their free time working their grind in order to fund this person's lifestyle because they think that they can beat this person. And so I wanted to just really quickly zoom out and show you just like how bad of a deal this is and how much more difficult this this comp plan gets to move up as you move up in the ranks, right? Like, so we've done this. We've started with our 1 recruit, 1 rank, 1 recruit, 1 rank, 1 recruit, 1 rank. 3 recruits, 2 of them can't be your own. And then suddenly you have to have 8 people under you. And then you have to have 15 people under you. And now you're not recruiting at all. You're just getting people underneath you to recruit you. And by the time you've reached this top rank, you have 194 people funding your lifestyle by working quote unquote their business. This isn't their business. It's yours, and frankly, it's not even yours. It's Monat's, but like they are working their butts off because you have sold them the dream that they're going to be able to be you, but that would require them to have 195 other people underneath them. And like it's this like often cited statistic where if you have some pyramid scheme where like you recruit 5 people and they recruit 5 people and they recruit 5 people, like 13 cycles of that is going to like outpace the number of people on the earth. And so, you know, to be SED, you have to have 194 people under you. Everyone can't be an SED. That's not how physics works. These people can't all have somebody under them because everybody is too busy being on par with them or above them. So they don't get to be an SED. They don't get to have 194 people under them because there aren't enough people on the planet to fund this infinite chain of recruitment and to get 5 levels deep for everybody. And so that's what I wanted to show you, and that is why I think that MLMs are pyramid schemes. And, you know, this is just one example of an MLM operating, you know, on this recruitment basis. And this is only one aspect of this, like, very complicated compensation plan that Monat uses to entice people into its business opportunity. But I just wanted to show this one piece and show how unrealistic it is and why it's a bad deal. So, thanks for watching.